You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's a big world out there, and you're just looking for a pat on the back or head. You run around the city, searching for a place to bark, working your tail off with your nose to the ground, sniffing for a few scraps, hoping someone will throw you a bone. You take each lead, collar after collar, hoping one day to take a bite out of success and become the top dog. Fortunately, you come home each day to open arms, open cans, a drink waiting for you, and a comfortable place in front of the TV set. You know you've got it good, really good, because after all, it's a doggy dog world out there. Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with your host, pet expert, and award-winning author Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Hi, welcome to It's a Doggy Dog World. I'm your host, Liz Palaika, with my good friends Petra Burke. Hello. And Kate Abbott.
Howdy.
And we've got an interesting topic for you today. We've talked on several previous podcasts on how to choose the right dog for you, and we talked about breeds and characteristics and so forth. But today we want to talk about characteristics, but of the dog that's already in your home, the dog that's already a part of your family. And in understanding this, aiding communication a little bit and training. So stay tuned, take a listen to our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. It's a Doggy Dog World. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Petco, where the pets go. Petco, where the pets go.
Pet Life Radio has tail-wagging, fur-flying, fabulous deals for our listeners from Petco. Get $6 off your order of $60 or more and up to 40% off the entire Petco site. That's right. But that's not all. Because you're a Pet Life Radio listener, you'll also get free shipping on your order of $49 or more. $6 off, up to 40% off, and free shipping from Pet Life Radio and Petco. To get these awesome deals, go to PetcoDeals.com. That's PetcoDeals.com.
Petco, where the pets go.
I'm not much of a reader, but I do wish I were more well-read.
There are so many great books coming out. I wish I could find a way to keep up.
Audible.com makes it easy to stay well-informed and catch up on your reading simply by listening. Audiobooks from Audible turn downtime into uptime. You'll be more productive and become well-read.
Now I'm able to catch up on all the great books I've been wanting to read.
With Audible, I feel smarter.
Pet Life Radio listeners, try Audible.com now and get your first 30 days of Audible Listener Gold membership plan free. And get a free audiobook. Choose from over 100,000 titles. To get this great deal, go to audibledeals.com. That's audibledeals.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com. We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palaika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. We're talking today about the characteristics of the dog that's already in your home, already in your family, a part of your family, and learning to recognize characteristics and understand them to aid in your understanding of your dog, communication with your dog, and ultimately training your dog. Because all breeds, types of breeds, groups of dogs all have individual characteristics. Kate has a good example of that. She added a terrier to her household. She's not had a terrier before, and so that's really different.
It's different. Well, when we were talking about topics, I've taken 3 calls on our training business phone line in the last week of people that already have a dog, and they were experiencing some kind of issue, and they just called to ask advice. So it's a case of, over the phone, I haven't seen the dog, I haven't seen anything, but what made sense to me based on their descriptions. So, prime example, a woman called and said she had a Shar-Pei German Shepherd mix, but it looked mostly Shar-Pei, she said. A female, 2 years old, has been going to dog parks fairly regularly, but lately has started being aggressive with other dogs, jumping on them and grabbing hold of the back of their neck. So she wanted to know about what she should do. Should she come in for training, blah, blah, blah. Well, I said, well, I've never seen your dog. Well, let's talk about generalities. First of all, you've got a Shar-Pei, and even half Shar-Pei. Do you know what Shar-Peis were, as a breed, were bred? No. They're just cute, all those wrinkles. Well, all those wrinkles are so they can fight with other dogs. And that's what they were bred to do. Fight. All those wrinkles, loose skin, allow them to move around inside their skin while fighting. Oh, big revelation. Second, you've got a female. As a gender, female dogs tend to be more in terms of everybody must listen to my rules.
And behave themselves and don't get out of line.
Social order. And then 2 years old, coming into the height of her adultness, probably, or just starting to come into being an adult, starting to assert herself as to who she is. So I said, looking at those generalities, I would tell you don't go to the dog parks.
Exactly.
Now, you can come in for training, you can do all sorts of other stuff,
but it's not going to change who she is.
Exactly.
We've seen that also with herding dogs, because many of the trainers here at Kindred Spirits, including Petra and myself, have Australian Shepherds. They're herding dogs. They herd sheep or ducks or cattle or other livestock. How many people with Aussie puppies or Border Collie puppies or bearded collie puppies, corgis, come to puppy class, and one of the first complaints is, my puppy is biting my ankles.
Yeah.
Now, of course, yes, they need to learn not to bite ankles, but people seem totally amazed that this cute, fluffy little puppy is biting their ankles. I mean, you don't have a flock of sheep.
No, and that example is excellent, because when I visited some friends of mine, they had an Australian Shepherd and no longer. Asked what happened, and well, he kept keeping the kids all together and kept nipping at the heels, so we got rid of him. Well, you have an Australian Shepherd. Did you not read the breed specifics on it? So they just got rid of the dog.
I mean, as much as we talk about know the breed before you get, the reality is a lot of people don't.
Right.
It's cute. My son, or the one yesterday, my son brought it home.
Yes.
And he left home, and I've got the dog.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Frankly, there isn't a whole lot of, but if you have already the dog,
yes,
then you can start to say, okay, maybe I need to approach my training in this way.
Yeah.
I definitely change my training techniques versus what the breed is, and then the individual dog as well.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So, I worked with a bull terrier last week. And
well, wait a minute. Let's come up and say he's, 6 years old? Or 7 years old? So, it's a middle-aged bull terrier.
Coming to obedience class for the first time.
For the first time. And with a stable full of bad habits.
Yeah. Including wanting to lunge at other dogs.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, already I looked and said, terrier, he's going to be stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no use getting mad about it. I just go ahead and factor that into how long it's going to take to teach him a new concept. Knowing it's going to take maybe an Australian Shepherd who's used to complying with people a couple of times. Mm-hmm. They get it. They want to go along with the program. Okay, ideal. I'm thinking terriers. He really doesn't care. He doesn't know me. And he's going to want to stay stubbornly on the track that he was on. And that was all true. Also, he's big and strong. Not an ounce of fat on that dog.
Thing's built like a tank.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So, I had to try different techniques to find out what I could communicate. But I had some guidelines by already knowing some generalities.
Right.
Which, again, was kind of surprising to the owner. Really? I thought he was just a cute, handsome guy. Well, he is. But he's also
a terrier. And we're not making fun of terriers, and we're not putting down terriers. Kate loves her terrier tremendously.
It's still a learning situation for me. It's been a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over a year.
Yeah.
It's been a year. Mm-hmm. And knowing that I had taken the leap to go to the dark side and get a terrier.
Or not. It could be the sunshine side.
Could be the sunshine.
Yeah. The terrier
Just a different side.
It's a different side.
Yeah.
I started planning quickly, especially as I realized that, yes, he was going to try and get out of the yard, both at home and here at the training field. So I had to work on boundaries. I had to work on a really good come.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought generalities. Okay, terriers like to work by themselves primarily.
They like to hunt.
And hunt and chase.
Yes.
Thrill of the prey chase. Okay, what can I do to make myself part of that?
Right.
Not try to block it.
So you're getting yourself in that mindset so you're not going to get frustrated
I wanted to work
Unlike
with
Walter, who's...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't, yeah. So the games that I came up to play with him was that chase a toy on a string. That was his prey. He loved it. Then I start slowly making it more wonderful if when he catches it, he brought it to me. And so when he did indeed catch a real live rat in the backyard, what did he do? He brought it to me! And I'm like, yay, ooh, yay, ooh. Okay. But that's when I knew that he also saw me as part of the game, part of the fun. So, yes, he catches a lizard, he brings it to me and shows, and then I go, yay!
Well, other than when he's trying to swallow it whole.
Yeah, that's true, too. But, you know, he still has more of a tendency to wander off by himself
than the other dogs.
Yep. But he will happily come. So, okay. But I took his breed, his working traits, and then I adapted my means to do that. And then, as an individual dog, he's actually not as crazy as a lot of terriers I've known. So I've had to adjust all of that, too. But
that's what we're just trying to get to the owners of these terriers or bloodhound or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, what they have, what they understand.
The bloodhound. Now talk about that.
You know, and she's darn cute, and I can see why they got her. But I know the owner was just getting frustrated because she's constantly sniffing the ground.
Now she's in puppy class.
Yeah, she's just a baby.
And he said he had done a year's worth of research before getting her, and the things that he liked was they tended to be non-aggressive. They tended to be very tolerant of children, and they have 2 young boys. And I believe they also wanted the short coat. Now, those were traits that they wanted. They fell in love with those velvet soft ears. And so, in those respects, she is exactly what they wanted. And he knew that they were scenting dogs, that their nose was all important, but I don't think it registered how important the nose is to a bloodhound.
Exactly. And he's now realizing that because as she gets older, each week and week, she's got an excellent nose. And I told him that. So he's going to start doing some research and make some games. Have some fun with it. Use the nose. Not, you can't break her of it. It's not, you can't love her out of it. You can't take it out of her. It's her nature.
You can't amputate her nose.
Yeah.
That's who she is.
But he is a little frustrated when he sees the other puppies in class learning to do the watch me and to focus on their owners, and he's having a tough time.
Because she's sniffing.
And I know I've talked to him several times on finding something that will motivate her, like chunks of freeze-dried liver, because that'll appeal to her sense of smell. Swiss cheese, that'll appeal to her sense of smell.
Exactly.
But he still needs some more skills on how to do that. And I think he understands who she is, but this is the first time they've had a hound.
So he definitely needs to work with more odoriferous
motivations,
treats or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, like a lab owner, you can give him cardboard and the dog's happy. You give him as a treat, But in this case, it's not.
And so again, we're talking generalities. There are individual differences.
Sure. Yeah.
But if you start with a generality, it gives you a good idea of your choices from there on.
In fact, let's take a break for our sponsors, and then we'll talk about individualities, because I'll talk about the difference between Bashir and Cisco, 2 dogs of the same breed that are very different. So take a break, take a listen to our sponsor. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. It's a Doggy Dog World. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Introducing the new Bret Michaels Pets Rock collection exclusively at PetSmart. I created it for the pets that rock your world.
Shop the Bret Michaels Pets Rock collection and celebrate PetSmart's 25th anniversary with up to 25% off thousands of items on the PetSmart site. Plus free shipping on orders of $49 or more. Go to PetSmartDeal.com. That's PetSmartDeal.com. PetSmartDeal.com.
Dyson,
The new Dyson Animal Vacs are powerful bagless upright vacuums for homes with pets. Air muscle and radio root cyclone technology generates the strongest suction power to powerfully remove dust, dirt, and pet hair from the home or car. To order your Dyson Animal Vac, go to DysonDeals.com. DysonDeals.com to order your Dyson Animal Vac today.
Dyson, music to your ears.
Hi, I'm Lisa Smith-Putnam, the host of the new and exciting show, Your Pets, My Dogs, here on Pet Life Radio. Your Pets, My Dogs will feature celebrity interviews, we'll talk to everyday pet owners, and more. Listen, I am here to entertain you each and every week, right here on Pet Life Radio. Again, that's Your Pets, My Dogs. I'm your host, Lisa Smith-Putnam. Your Pets, My Dogs. Your Pets, My Dogs.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
We know you're begging for more. So back to It's a Doggy Dog World with your fetching hosts, Liz Palika, and this week's co-hosts, Kate Abbott and Petra Burke.
Welcome back to It's a Doggy Dog World. In this podcast, we're talking about the dog that you already have in your family versus choosing a dog, but also understanding who this dog is and what he is because of his inherent characteristics. And if we use my two boys as an example, Bashir and Cisco are both Australian Shepherds. In fact, they're both black tri-Australian Shepherds. They have many characteristics in common. They both love to herd sheep. They both have a strong prey drive. They love to run. They're smart. They love to play games. But in the differences, Bashir is bold, outgoing, extrovert. Let's go do stuff. Let's go do it now. I ask him to do something. He says, okay, Mom wants to do it. I'll do it. He's bold and brassy is his best way to describe him. Cisco, on the other hand, is still very intelligent, wants to do stuff with me, but is not bold. He's much more of an introvert than an extrovert. And whereas Bashir will do anything I tell him at the moment I tell him, as soon as he understands, Cisco, I've got to give time to think about it. He's my thinker, my ponderer. And if I try to force him, he'll get worried, he'll get afraid, he'll pull back. But if I give him time to think about it, and let him move in on his own terms, then he's more than willing to do it for me. So they have breed characteristics, but we also have to understand our dog's own personality, temperament, and way of doing things.
Exactly.
Well, and that's a good point because we have a lot of people that come to class and they have experience with like German Shepherds or have had, what do we have, somebody who has pointers. You know, they have them all their life, but it's like, well, she's not, or he's not like so-and-so or like so-and-so.
He's not like my last one.
Yeah. It's like, well, yeah, you generalize, you know the breed. Now you've got the personality that's different.
Yes.
Yes. We see that
and when you got a
too.
mixed breed. I mean, Walter's is Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix. Mm-hmm. So I can see a little bit of each in him. And then you get other Cocker mixes.
My mom has a Cocker Poodle mix, Ginger, who is 180 degrees different from Walter. Walter also is bold and brassy and will do anything when you communicate to him and give him some motivation. My mom's cockapoo, Ginger, is reserved, a little bit fearful, a little bit shy. She's perfect for my mom. She and my mom get along great, but Ginger is definitely not Walter.
And part of that, okay, we can get into the nature versus nurture. I
Sure.
don't know, you know.
Ginger's been at home with my elderly mom. She was well socialized. She came to puppy class and basic class, but not the socialization that Walter's had.
Yeah.
And she lives alone with my mom. It's just the two of them. So it's different.
Is it nature or nurture? If she had a more outgoing nature, she might be frustrated living with your mom.
True.
But the good news is
She's
it works
happy.
for both of them.
Right.
Exactly. Walter was originally supposed to be someone else's puppy. And she wanted a quiet, calm, retiring
And that
dog.
was not Walter.
And so I ended up. So, sometimes we face this issue with problems that the dog is doing something that the person doesn't like. And then we will suggest rehoming.
It's not something we jump to lightly because we know people love their dog. And we want, one of our goals here at Kindred Spirits is to keep the dog in the home. Yeah. And we've had more than one person come to class and say, if you don't fix this, the dog's going away.
Yeah.
Want to talk about the husky?
Oh, the husky.
Yeah.
That was a great success story.
Came in on basic class week 1. Husband was totally in love with the husky, and she was a gorgeous husky.
Oh, beautiful dog. And she knew Dad loved her.
She knew Dad loved her. Mom came in holding a piece of paper with the phone number for the local husky rescue contact info.
Yes.
And it was said, will you either help me with this dog, or I'm calling Husky Rescue, even if it means a divorce from my husband. Because one way or the other, we're going to get divorced if we keep, whatever.
Yeah. We do not do marital counseling. No. But we will help with dog training.
But by the end of the 7 weeks, by applying the training, by working with the dog, using the methods,
and understanding what huskies are.
I was going to say, they understood the breed.
We talked a lot more about what huskies are.
Husky, one of their frustrations was that if she got out, she would run like crazy.
And they're wanderers. That's their nature.
You got it. And when we looked at her, like, you got a husky.
Yeah.
What did you expect?
Yeah.
And we had to go over that talk. So, okay, she's going to run. Well, then let's work on a really, really, really good recall. And the last night of class, Mom came in with Husky all by herself. Dad had to work or something, but she was beaming. Husky had gotten out of the yard, so the gate gave way or the fence fell down or something early on a Sunday morning. And they went outside because they heard the commotion and saw that husky butt disappearing over the horizon. But they had kept everything, they were doing everything we'd asked them to do to teach her. So they brought out the sound stimulus, the shaker, and they shook it and they called her to come. And the little speck on the horizon got bigger because she turned around and came running just as hard back to them.
And then, of course, they told her what a wonderful dog she was, and they gave her loves and cookies.
And Mom was happy.
Yeah.
And so Mom had thrown away the number for Husky Rescue, and she was like, she came back to me. She's now my dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
So knowing what they had and then working on that issue
made all the difference in the world. It potentially saved that dog's life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, as you were saying, sometimes there's a mix match.
There are a couple of cases where I have brought up rehoming and the people said, no, they are members of my family and they are my children and I will not. And I understand that feeling, but I am so afraid it's going to end in disaster that could be averted with rehoming.
We have an elderly couple in puppy class right now with a working breed dog. The woman is taking care of her elderly 90-something-year-old dad, who's frail. The dog has already hurt him. He was showing the scars and the scabs and the bruises, and they don't understand the breed they have. They've had large dogs in the past, but this is a different time in their life. They have a large breed, working breed puppy who
very strong,
who's very
going to be huge,
physically strong, is going to be very large,
big boy,
is very active, needs a job to do, and I personally don't think they're able to do that.
And that's an example of he is epitome of his breed.
Yes,
he's
he
even an exaggeration of his breed.
Yes. And they went on the assumption they've always had large breeds before, wanted another large breed with a short coat, and I won't go into too much detail as to who he is, but he is what he is. And in their case, they probably would have been better with an adult rescue.
Yes.
Yeah.
They really didn't need to go through puppyhood.
Or an older adult rescue, somebody who's settled already. There's so many home dogs need
would
homes.
have been a much better. I am scared to death that this puppy is going to knock down Grandpa in his 90s, and he's going to break an arm or his hip.
Or his mother.
Oh, yeah.
He's really big enough to pull her down.
She's not a young woman either.
Yeah. No. So,
and then conversely, last year, I went out in private training because these people had done their research. They decided they wanted a lab. Great. He just retired. He wanted a dog to pal around with him, to be laid back and cool. Picked a Labrador. I said, great, okay. I get out there. What he's got is the quintessential working lab.
The field lab.
The field lab, as we call it. This is a dog who wants to go running through the brush
and retrieve
8 hours a day and hit the ice cold water and grab things. And
he has one speed, 90 miles an hour.
Yeah. And they'd had her, I don't know, about a month or so, and he was already in love with her. And I said, look, you picked the breed, and I do think you picked the right breed for what you want, but you picked the extreme end. So they actually listened to me, amazing, and they rehomed her with someone who does search and rescue. Mm-hmm. Man, talk about finding the great match for that dog's needs and desires.
Right. Yeah, that was a nice story.
He went off and found what I call a Labrador. Just doop kind of lab.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Great. He is thrilled.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Wife is thrilled. Husband is thrilled. Puppy is thrilled. Everybody is happy.
Yeah.
The original puppy is much happier now.
Sure.
He's
search
got
and
rescue
job.
people are happy.
Yep.
And it was very difficult for the couple to do. Mm-hmm. Very difficult.
But you know what? Better to do it while he was a puppy than when he's halfway through adolescence and they're frustrated and angry. The dog is frustrated and miserable. And then it's harder to find that right home. Yeah. Because there's a lot of adolescents looking for homes.
I give them so much credit. They made the decision. They
followed
rehomed the puppy. They waited a month. They gave themselves some time to grieve. Then they checked out the personality of the new Labrador puppies they were looking at a little more carefully with a little more experienced eye. Mm-hmm. And it's just a wonderful story now.
Yep.
So look at what you have.
Exactly.
Don't try to don't be the woman who dates the guy so she can change him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Be realistic.
Again, if we go back to the nature and nurture, a dog is partially his nature, his genetics, his heritage, and that includes his breed, his base temperament, what he inherited from his mother, his father, his ancestors, and then the nurture is the environment. Both the breeder who had the puppies, whether he's been through 1, 2, 3, or 4 homes before you, what happened to him since then, his socialization, his training, what's happened to him.
How good of a mother she had.
Sure, all of that. And it's all put together. And I won't say the nature and nurture is 50-50. It's probably, nature is probably, 40%, and then nurture is maybe 60%. But again, it depends on the individual dog and his temperament. The combination of both. And then that individual puppy.
Yeah. And use that information to your benefit and to your dog's benefit.
Definitely. Ease the frustration. Increase the enjoyment.
I mean, I went to a Jack Russell, that's the kind of terrier I got, Jack Russell Terrier. So I went to a Jack Russell meetup group show. And I had no idea that, there was a whole new side of dogs. Watching them run and do the races and the hunting and the bales of hay and all of that. Some of it appealed to me, some of it didn't, but it was definitely a whole new outlook on life.
Yeah, Liz and I realized that when we all go camping or somewhere and we're on the beach and our dogs stick around us. And there goes your Jack! Woo!
Disappearing up the beach into the fog.
And you're like, oh, it's okay, he'll be back, unless we're going, he's too far.
Our dogs are hanging around us, running circles around us, playing in the surf.
They're being shepherds.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you guys are used to shepherd mentality, and you are shepherds.
Yeah. Yes. And we were watching him run away going, Kate, you can't see him. Kate.
And I'm like, yeah, just 1, 2, 3. Now wait. Yep, the dot is getting bigger. He's coming back just as hard.
Yeah, and he did.
It is totally foreign to us herding dog people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm having to learn to split personality because Walter is more shepherd-like.
Yes, yes, he is.
But I've had to accept that the terrier will do that and come back. I got a little terrier in me, as you've noticed, whenever we go shopping together.
Yes,
where's Kate?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I come back eventually.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and the shepherds are going, where's Kate? Where's Kate? Where's Kate? Where's Kate? She's out of sight. Where's Kate? We've had to learn how to deal with you, too.
Yeah. There's a thrift shop over the corner. And I had to go there.
Yes, that's true. All right.
Oh, we can now say Kate's gone to ground.
Yeah, there we go.
Target acquired.
Yep. There we go. All right. Well, before we let you go on this podcast, we have to let you know that we have a contest. This particular podcast is our 99th. Our next one will obviously be our 100th.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it?
We couldn't believe it. We've had listeners from China and Australia and South Africa and all over Europe and, of course, all over the U.S. It's just been an amazing journey. So we want to have a contest. And our next podcast in our 100th, you have to tune in and listen to, because we're going to talk about some ways that we have fun with our dogs, that we get silly with our dogs, that we play with our dogs. Because why have a dog if you can't have fun and be silly with him? So in our 100th podcast, we're going to talk about that. And the contest is to email us at kindredspiritsK9, the letter K, the number 9, at gmail.com. Or you can email us at the Pet Life Radio email that you can see up on the Pet Life Radio website, and tell us the silliest thing you have done with your dog. The silliest. Not organized sports, not organized activities, not training, but the silliest thing you've done with your dog. And we're going to have prizes. We're going to have a t-shirt, and we're going to have some of my books, and we'll have a prize for the number one silliest and then the 2 runners-up. So think about it. Think about some of the silly stuff you do. Then email it to us. And our 101st show, we're going to be reading some of those emails, and we'll announce the winner.
Cool.
All right?
Okay.
So keep listening. Tune into our 100th. Listen to some of the silly stuff we do, and there's some silly stuff, let me tell you. And then tune into the 101st and see if you're a winner. That's it. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Having a rough day? Longing for the dog days of summer? Think your fun furry friend lives a dog's life? Well, find out everything you're begging to know as Pet Life Radio presents It's a Doggy Dog World with pet expert and award-winning author Liz Palaika. Every dog has his day, and you'll find out how to make your dog's day fun and rewarding every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.